Hey guys, it is Dungeon Master Mark. Figured I would bring the newest edition of the Rise of the Drow. I believe this is actually our 10th session. So I do apologize, there was 2 sessions that the recordings did not turn out correctly on my GoPro. So back to using the Samsung Galaxy smart camera for the time being. So the last session, the characters are going down another crevice to go a little deeper. They are chasing after the lost dwarf bard and barbarian. And of course they're going to make it into this landing. Now I am going to be playing this session a little bit later today, so I may do some notes after the session as to what's going to happen. But they're going to go down here, they're going to find a couple clues as to which way the Drow may have went, which the Drow actually split up. One part of them went straight ahead, one part went to the left. Let me go ahead and zoom out here real quick. So I figure this session should take us about 4.5, 5 hours altogether. But down here in this session, they're going to find some tracks milling about, and they're actually going to be in a encounter with a dead body that's actually being possessed by an intellect devourer. And that's going to be the first encounter for this particular session, which basically the Drow knew this creature existed here, so they throw out a body every once in a while to kind of throw it off the scent. Over this way there's going to be a little trap, and of course over this way there's going to be a little cubby area. And there's going to be a couple little bits of treasure where the Drow kind of stuck a body with some loot off to the side. And then there's going to be a little area that goes up ahead. Now, across there, there's going to be a little piece of spider wire, so the Drow can basically go from this little landing over to that landing, and basically go across, like climbing across without going across this big giant crevice and this big giant pitfall. So obviously, as the party walks up to this thing, it's going to look pure and simple, like a trap, which it is. Obviously, this encounter has been planned out by the Drow, who know the party's following them. Let me move over this way real quick. So there is going to be some archers over this way. If the party didn't scout ahead that way beforehand, there will be a couple of the crossbow Drow over that way. Over this way, there's going to be the bard who was in the party. Dead body, well, they believe it's dead. And then it looks like he's still bleeding out, so still a little alive. Now this is definitely a trap though. There is the captain of the Drow, who is invisible, and he's waiting for at least one of them to start making their way across. He's going to turn visible and offer the party's champion basically to fight to get the dwarf back. Basically what he's wanting to do, he's wanting to get at least one party member to make their way all the way across so he can fight them one-to-one combat. Now he's a little bit higher level than the party, and he is a ninja, even though he's more of a fighter ninja build. So it should be interesting if the Magus takes the bait, because he is built primarily to deal with the Magus in the party. And I think he can probably take on probably every single one of the party members in hand-to-hand combat fairly well. Now the archers are going to be over here, have 2 different tricks up their sleeves. One of them on one side has some bolts that they're going to cast silence on the bolts and just do an area effect to try to take out the spellcasters in the back. And the second thing is they both have some potions of protection from good and protection from law. And they are going to try and get the summoner basically to summon some creatures, and that way they are automatically protected from them. So basically waste the spells themselves. Beyond this, there's going to be this long kind of corridor that wraps around. And there's actually 2 new special guests to the Drow Patrol. That are some of these lizard riders. Now these 2 are actually going to be special guests. They're going to be a Drow Blackguards, or anti-paladins, if you will, for the Drow party. They're a little lower level, but they specialize in charging. That's the long narrow corridor that they've chosen. Over this way, if the party member does any real damage count to the Drow himself, he's going to turn invisible. He's going to make his way through this secret passage here, and he's going to close it up behind him so that he doesn't have to worry about anyone following him. And this is actually a ruined kind of basement levels to a fortress. party doesn't even know this exists yet. The Drow are kind of using this kind of as a forward reconnaissance base, if you will. You see there where it's been burrowed into the wall. If I can get to focus. There we go. But yeah, so once the party does discover this, there will be some steps going up if they do wish to investigate upwards a little bit. Let me get that through here. I have to fix that later. There's going to be what was left of a treasure room that's already been ransacked. This is going to be a quest hook for some of the old mechanical creatures. I'm going to find some clues there on how to control some of them. And over there's another water passage. It says it's going to lead farther down if the party just choose to follow that adventure hook as well. So at the end of this quest, there's going to be about 4 different options of what the party can do at the end of this quest itself. And then there's also a little area that's going to go into what the party is going to believe is going to be going to the Lizardman area. So a lot of options for the characters as to how they're going to handle the end of the quest itself. A very blatantly obvious trap which the party is going to have to negotiate to rescue the dwarf. Whether the dwarf lives or not, it's kind of up to the party how they handle it. So definitely some moral dilemmas. The last quest, the Mind Flayer has been giving the party some hints and clues as to how to proceed. So a lot of this will depend on if they trust the Mind Flayer's judgment, how they're going to handle these 2 guys here. Hopefully, if the party is smart, the anti-paladins are pretty lethal. I think once they do the first charge and do a couple hits, I think the party's probably going to back up that way. They may send in some summoned creatures. It's kind of hard to tell. But the Drow have a lot of tricks up their sleeves. They have a lot of area effect little tricks that they're going to use to try to herd the party into this chamber. Thus, the secret interest is they're going to try to get them into this area, throw some webs, some clouds, and basically leave it up to the blackguards to basically charge down and nitpick them off one at a time. If the party does decide to fall back, the Drow have a couple other tricks up their sleeves, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this particular adventure, guys. Thanks for watching, and at the end of this, I will do some notes once I upload the video to tell you guys what happens. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.